Tell your mother to stop wrecking homes and maybe she'll remember to pack your lunches. My uncle laughed, tapping his glass. Some women just can't keep families together. My daughter's mouth went small like she was swallowing a storm. My son stared at the gravy boat as if it could carry him away. Christmas lights blinked on the curtain rod, green, red, green, like a heartbeat trying to stay steady in a body that's failing. Hi everyone, my name is Mara. I'm 32. Do you know the sound a child makes when they decide to be brave? It's the sound of a fork placed carefully on porcelain so it won't rattle. It's the sound of a breath pressed flat. I'd learned to fold myself into quiet, first for peace, then for survival. I'd kept my divorce simple, my explanations softer than the truth, because I thought mercy was a kind of love. But sometimes love is a boundary. Sometimes mercy is a key you stop giving out. Uncle spread cranberry sauce like paint, basking in his own echo. See kids, he told his twins. Men leave wrecked homes. That's why Aunt Mara's alone. My mother cleared her throat and pretended to fuss over candles. Dad watched the football on mute, the screen a mouth that moved without meaning. A strand of red tinsel had come loose, trailing near a candle flame, a thin ribbon nearly catching. I eased it away. You don't have to eat, I told my kids softly. You also don't have to earn the right to be safe. The twins looked at their father like he was the weather. My daughter finally whispered, Mom, did you wreck anything? I felt the old, familiar tug to lie, to patch the world with pretty fabric and hope no one inspected the seams. But I remembered the texts, the slurs threaded through them like barbed wire. I remembered the night my uncle's wife called me from their driveway, whispering over the hummed engine, it's not you. It's him. He needs a story where he's the hero. Uncle lifted his chin. Well, tell them. All right, I said. I folded my napkin once, twice, as if I could crease the tremor out of my hands. I looked at his twins, the girl with ink-smudged knuckles from drawing, the boy who counted his peas in quiet groups of 5. I'll tell the truth. Not to shame anyone. To stop the shame from living in the wrong rooms. He smirked. Finally. I leaned forward, low and even, and the room went winter still. Your mom didn't leave because of me, I began. She left because of what she found in the blue shoebox you keep above the garage, under the old tennis rackets behind the Christmas lights you forgot to check. The twins blinked. My uncle's smile thinned. And because of the messages tucked inside the church bulletin from 2 Easters ago, I added, my voice barely more than a thread. The ones in your handwriting. Somewhere the football game changed quarters in silence. In the tree's glass ball, my uncle's face broke into a dozen trembling reflections. The table didn't breathe for a full 10 seconds. Then the clatter of a dropped spoon cracked the air open again. Uncle's wife, my former sister-in-law, had vanished 3 years ago, leaving only a note that said, don't rewrite my reasons. He'd rewritten them anyway. Told everyone she'd fallen for someone else, whispered that I was the reason she ran. In small towns, rumor moves faster than oxygen. Shoebox, he said finally, laughing too loud. Mara, what are you? You kept her letters, I said. All the ones you told people she never wrote. You hid them because she begged you to stop following her. To stop showing up at her work. His kids froze. The girl looked at the floor, the boy's lip quivered. Mom whispered, Mara, not here. Exactly here, I said. This is where the lie started. Uncle's jaw worked like he was chewing nails. You're poisoning them. No, I said quietly. You did that when you used my name to make your children hate their cousin's mother. The silence after that had shape, weight, pulse. My daughter's small hand found mine under the tablecloth, her fingers warm and shaking. I just want to eat, his son muttered. Uncle's voice cracked. You think you're better than us because you read your therapy books and call it healing? I looked at him the way one looks at a splinter before removing it. Steady, almost tender. No. I just stopped mistaking silence for peace. He pushed back his chair so hard it screeched. The twins flinched. For a second I thought he'd throw something, but instead he turned to my father. You gonna let her destroy Christmas? Dad didn't look away from the TV. It was already ruined when you opened your mouth. That was the first true sentence he'd said all night. Uncle stormed out, dragging the door behind him like a bad ending refusing to close. And still the red and green lights blinked on, steady as a heartbeat that had finally found its rhythm again. The next morning his car was gone from the driveway before sunrise. The frost on the windshield carried the shape of his hand, one smear of panic. I sat at the kitchen table watching steam lift from my coffee like a ghost of what used to be peace. Mom didn't say a word. She just folded napkins one after another until the stack looked like apology. At noon my phone buzzed. A message from my cousin Lily, Uncle's daughter. Aunt Mara. Dad said Mom's letters were fake. Are they? I stared at the screen until the words blurred. Then I typed, "You can come see for yourself. They're in my garage now." That evening Lily and her brother showed up in oversized hoodies, the kind kids wear when they're trying to hide from noise. They stood in the doorway, uncertain. I handed them a small box, the same one their mother had dropped at my doorstep years ago before she left town. Inside were the letters. Some folded neatly, others tear-streaked, with handwriting that slanted like exhaustion. The twins read in silence, "I can't breathe in a house built on lies." Another said, "Please stop saying Mara ruined us. You ruined yourself." Lily looked up, her eyes wet but sharp. "So he lied about everything." "I wish he hadn't," I said. She closed the box carefully. "We'll bring this back. He needs to read it." But he didn't. He threw it out that same night. Lily sent me a picture of the soggy letters in the trash, ink bleeding into black plastic like veins fading from a body. I replied, "It's okay. Truth doesn't drown." After that, the twins stopped coming to his house. My uncle began showing up alone to family dinners, pretending not to notice the empty chairs beside him. Christmas had found its silence and it stayed. A week later, my mom tried to fix what she called the family fracture. She invited everyone for Sunday dinner, as if mashed potatoes could glue over years of rot. I arrived late mostly because I wanted them to see I no longer hurried for peace. Uncle was already there, staring at his phone like it owed him forgiveness. The twins sat apart, Lily scrolling silently, her brother sketching circles on a napkin. When I walked in, their eyes lifted, hesitant but steady. Mom forced a smile. "Let's eat before it gets cold." We ate quietly. The only sound was the scrape of cutlery, the kind that makes you aware of every heartbeat. Then Uncle finally spoke. "You happy now, Mara? You made my kids hate me." I set down my fork. "No. You did that when you made them hate their mother." He leaned forward, eyes red. "You don't understand, she left us." "Left me." "She left what you became," I said. "That's different." The words landed like stones in still water, rippling through the table. Mom whispered, "Please, not again." But Lily interrupted softly, "No, Grandma. He should listen." Her voice didn't tremble. "You said Mom ran away, but she called me once. She was crying. She said she tried to come home, but you locked the door." Uncle's face twisted. "She was lying to protect." "She was begging," Lily snapped. "And you told everyone she was with Aunt Mara's ex. You ruined her name." The boy's drawing pen snapped in his hand. Uncle pushed his chair back again like he always did when truth cornered him. "You're all ungrateful. Every single one." No one followed him this time. When the door slammed shut, Lily whispered, "It's quieter without him." Mom nodded slowly, eyes wet but distant. I looked around the table. The flickering candlelight, the untouched pie, the hollow space where noise used to live. Sometimes peace doesn't arrive with harmony. Sometimes it comes with the sound of a door finally staying closed. Outside, snow started to fall, soft and forgiving. Inside, nobody reached for seconds. The snow didn't stop for 2 days. It blanketed the driveway, the mailbox, even the old bird feeder Uncle had built years ago, now tilting under the weight of stillness. On the third morning, I heard a knock. When I opened the door, he was there. No jacket, just that same faded sweater, his breath a fog of regret. "I need to see them," he said. His voice cracked on them. I didn't move. Behind me, the twins sat on the couch, heads bent over a puzzle, the pieces almost forming a sky. "You've already seen enough," I said quietly. He glanced past me, eyes softening when he spotted Lily. "Sweetheart, your mother's lying to you." "She's dead," Lily interrupted. "Stop lying for her too." His mouth opened, closed. "You don't know the full story." "I do," she said. "Mom told Aunt Mara everything." He took a step forward. "You turned my kids against me." I met his eyes. "No. I turned the mirror around. You just don't like the reflection." He stood there, snow gathering on his shoulders like penance. "I just wanted a family," he whispered. Then you shouldn't have burned it to keep yourself warm, I said. Behind him, my dad's truck pulled into the driveway. He rolled down the window and called, "You should leave, David." Uncle's name hung in the air like something delicate and dying. He hesitated, then muttered, "They'll come around." "They already did," I said. "Just not to you." He walked away slowly, each step pressing deeper into the snow until his outline blurred with the storm. Inside, my son whispered, "Will he be okay?" "People usually are," I said. "Once they face themselves." We watched from the window as he disappeared past the gate. Lily slipped her hand into mine, her voice small but certain. "He used to be my hero." "Sometimes heroes forget they're supposed to protect," I said. "But truth doesn't." Outside, his footprints filled with snow, vanishing clean, as if the world itself decided what to keep and what to bury. Weeks passed, but his shadow lingered like old smoke. Every call he made went unanswered. Every voicemail turned into another apology that never quite said sorry. I heard from Mom that he'd started showing up at church again, sitting alone in the back pew. People said he looked smaller, like someone had folded him wrong. One afternoon, Lily stopped by. She carried a small photo album, her mom's. "Found this in a storage box at Grandma's," she said. "Wanted you to have it." We sat on the porch, winter sunlight sharp and pale. She opened to a photo of her parents' wedding. Young, smiling, all promise and shine. Then one of her mom holding a baby, eyes tired but gentle. "She wrote something on the back," Lily said, flipping it over. It read, "If love becomes fear, it's not love anymore." Lily exhaled shakily. "She always said truth was kindness, even when it hurts." I nodded. "Your mom was braver than she knew." "She wanted to come back," Lily whispered. "But she said Dad wouldn't let her unless she apologized for being unhappy." Her voice broke and I pulled her close. "You're not her, Lily. You get to choose peace this time." We sat there a long while. Then she smiled through tears. "Aunt Mara." "Yeah. I'm glad you said it." That night at dinner, everyone was scared too. I looked out at the quiet yard. The same bird feeder leaning, the same sky trying to remember color. Sometimes love is the thing you say when no one else will. That evening, a letter came in the mail. No return address, just my name in handwriting I recognized. Inside was one line. "You were right. I built my own ruin." No signature. Just a faint smell of smoke and old cologne. I folded it back into the envelope and set it by the window. Outside, the light dimmed, and for the first time in years I didn't feel the need to draw the curtains. Spring came quietly, like the world was learning to breathe again. The snow melted off the fences, revealing the faint prints of what had once been footsteps. The twins started visiting more often, helping me plant small bursts of color. Daisies, tulips, little promises that life could start again in the same soil that had held so much silence. One morning, while we were pulling weeds, Lily's brother, Evan, looked up. "Mom used to hum when she gardened," he said. "Dad would tell her it scared the birds." I smiled softly. Maybe that's why the birds always came to her anyway. He laughed. A real one this time, unbroken and whole. It was the first I'd heard in months. Later that week, I saw Uncle's name flash across my phone. I almost didn't answer. But some stories deserve their final chapter. "Mara," his voice rasped. "They won't speak to me." "I know," I said. "I told lies, but it wasn't supposed to go this far. I just wanted people to think I was the one left behind, not the one who drove her away." "That's not how truth works," I said quietly. "It doesn't care who feels left behind, it just stays." He sighed long and heavy. "Tell them I'm sorry." "They heard it," I replied. "But forgiveness isn't a door you can knock on whenever you like. Sometimes it's just a window that closes and never opens again." He didn't speak after that. The line clicked dead and I let it stay that way. That night, Lily sent a photo. Her, Evan, and my kids laughing around a table piled with cookies. Beneath it she'd typed, "First Christmas without him. Feels strange. But quiet is good." I looked at the photo for a long time. The lights behind them glowed soft gold, their faces unburdened, the air between them clean. And for the first time, the word quiet didn't mean absence. It meant peace. Outside, wind brushed against the window like a gentle reminder. Some storms end without thunder, they just fade into light. That Christmas, the house was smaller but lighter. The table had fewer chairs, fewer expectations, fewer ghosts. We strung the same old lights along the window, though some bulbs had burned out, tiny absences glowing softer than the rest. Lily and Evan arrived with a tin of cookies their mom used to bake. My kids set extra plates, even though no one would sit in the empty spot at the end. For the first time, no one tried to fill the silence. We just let it be. After dinner, Lily handed me a small envelope. "He mailed this to our house last week," she said. "Didn't want to open it." Inside was a photo, the same one of him and their mother on their wedding day, folded carefully. On the back, his handwriting trembled. "Tell Mara thank you for saving what was left of us." No signature. No apology. Just that. I set it down between the candles and watched the wax pool around it. The flame flickered, then steadied as if deciding to forgive on its own. Outside, the wind carried carols from another house. Faint, imperfect, human. Evan started humming along. My daughter joined him. Then my son. Lily laughed, and somehow the laughter didn't ache this time. Mom raised her glass. "To truth," she said softly. "And to peace that doesn't need an audience." We clinked glasses, gentle like a promise not to break anything again. Later that night, when everyone had gone to bed, I stepped outside. The snow was falling again, quiet, calm, and endless. Across the street, the lights in Uncle's old house were off. For once, that darkness didn't feel cruel. I closed my eyes, breathed in the cold, and whispered to no one, "Some silences save us." Behind me, laughter drifted through the window. Warm, real, alive. The kind that doesn't echo, it stays. And somewhere deep inside, the world finally stopped spinning around his lies.